OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsors. Board&Dice creates games where strategy and family fun collide. Some of their latest releases are La Granja Deluxe Master Set, Books of Time, Barcelona, and Nucleum. Their ally program lends support to underrepresented voices in the hobby. Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Fan Plays Games. Voices, yes. Yes.
And we are back for another week.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And this week,
here we go.
Focusing on co-op games.
Family, you know who don't like co-op that much. Right over here.
Co-op
So Starla. What can you say about co-op?
Whose idea was this?
That was your idea.
I don't think this was my idea.
That was your idea. Yes, it was. Yes, you make the schedule. It was your idea. So, Starla, my love, what can we say about co-op?
They're not for everybody.
Oh, here we go.
So,
Here we go.
If you're like me,
yes,
you're gonna lean.
Please don't be like Starla. Don't.
You're gonna lean towards the semi-cooperative games.
Are we doing that?
Yes, we are.
Are we doing that?
Semi-cooperative.
Are we doing that?
And our wonderful contributors this week, they're going to talk about some great co-op games, and many of them are semi-cooperative.
They're not no semi. They're not semi. They are cooperative games.
Tomato.
What? Tomato. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But everybody, this week we are introducing some new voices to the show.
Yes.
We're going to kick things off with Joe and Abby. Now, Joe is called the PhantomMeeple, and Abby is called the BlackBoard
Cookies.
Yes. And together they form the House of Meeple.
Yes. Check them out on Twitch, y'all. Check them out on Twitch, YouTube. Check them out.
And they're going to do a playthrough/teach of a game.
Yes.
And right after them, we've got Reggie from Rollin' Reggie. And he's going to give us a top 5 co-op and semi-co-op games.
Okay. Reggie gonna do right. He gonna do right. I'm not worried about Reggie. He gonna do right.
And last but not least,
yes,
we have BlackBoard Gaming. Dwayne and Alicia.
Yes.
And they're going to talk about, or teach, should I say, a co-op/semi-co-op game.
No, it's not semi-co-op. It is not semi. It is co-op.
Well, you know what? We'll let everybody else be the judge.
Yes, be the judge, family. Be the judge, yes. But first, family, let's go to our Good Humans segment, and we're going to hear from our guest contributor, NavyMontel. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs and nerds of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Montel Thompson. I'm also known as NavyMontel across social media. I am the frosty bearded Blerdicorn, as you can plainly tell why. Thank you so much for being here, and much love to Mick and Starla for inviting me on to the OFPG Voices. I am extremely honored, and to be a part of the Good Human segment, that says a lot. That means someone thinks I'm a good human. And speaking of being a good human, you know, in my life, I have grown up around so many different amazing things around gaming, cosplay, video games, books, love to read, comics. I'm a comic fan. But there was always that air of being accepted. Now, I didn't start out with a huge level of friends. I didn't have a lot of people around me. It was just me. And a strong curiosity to find out so much about everything that I was a part of, everything that I loved. And I didn't know where to start. And I had to research it on my own. We fast forward till now. I am at the tender age of 55. I love Dungeons and Dragons, board gaming, card gaming, video gaming. I love cosplay, conventions, comics, anime, you name it. I love it. And because I'm in this position now, I feel like I should be an ambassador. And I appeal to you as good humans. If you have that love and have that passion for anything, like you see behind me. This is me in every stretch of the imagination. And I encourage others, especially those who don't think that they belong to this, for those who don't believe that this is something they would be interested in or they would even be included. Let me tell you something. There is a place for you in all of this. It's simply a matter of making that decision that you want to be a part of it. Now, it's going to be a bit bumpy in the beginning because you have to actually talk to people and get to know them and, congregate with them. Because in this age of social media, we're so used to meeting people online. To meet them in person can be a bit scary, a little awkward. You get a little nervous and things like that. But then you find out at the core that we're all human beings. We're all nervous. We're all awkward. We're all a little bit scared at one point or another. And because of that, we have that desire to want to be a part of something, to belong, as you could say, to belong to the scene, to belong to that group, to that RPG group that meets once a week, to the group of gamers who are going to the Netties convention. We all have the ability to be ambassadors, to be representatives in this community, to also be defenders, because there are some people out there who try to be elitist about certain things, whether you are deep into comics and you know everything about every superhero and whatever it might be. We all have the ability to draw those in with positive energy, welcoming vibes, and a desire to build a community of amazing people that can enjoy the things that we love, to be able to sit down and play board games that you've never played before, go to conventions, check out comics, check out the latest episode of Doctor Who. And it all makes sense. It all makes sense if you think about it, because we love these things, so we want to be around other people that love that same thing, correct? So if we do want that, why not be a welcoming presence there? Now, even if you can't, you know someone who is, so you can draw to them, and then you can perhaps cultivate that energy, and you can be an open arm welcoming presence for someone else. Bring some of these geeks and nerds from the dark into the light. Show them that sitting at a table playing a game like Root or Betrayal on the House on the Hill is a beautiful, fun experience that can be repeated over and over and over. We all belong. We just have to show each other that we belong. I believe that we all belong here, and we also have an opportunity, not a duty, an opportunity to invite others from that into the fray. So I say this to you. Please be an ambassador. Show them that what we love can belong to everyone. And now tell them in the meantime and in between time, since they are such good humans and you are such a good human, I want you to do this for me and tell them the same thing, okay? Stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay sexy. Take care, guys.
Hello, everyone. I am Joe, aka PhantomMeeple.
And I'm Abby, the BakerMeeple. And together we make up
the House of Meeple.
We are a queer interracial couple who love board gaming and love sharing our love of board gaming with everyone.
And today on this episode of Voices featuring co-op games, we've chosen a cooperative trick taker for two very uncooperative people.
Very uncooperative.
We are playing Sail from All Play. We have to take on the role of pirate crewmates working together in a desperate effort to sail our ship out of dangerous waters. Rough seas ahead in this two-player cooperative trick-taking game where treacherous storms and a monstrous kraken attempt to thwart our every move. So, if you're ready, let's set up the game.
Let's do it.
All right, for this playthrough, we're going to be using a mix of deluxe and retail components from the All Play Kickstarter. To set up, assemble the ocean board in front of you. Next, choose a scenario. We're doing scenario 1. Place the tokens on the board according to your scenario. Then, each player chooses a pirate card with a special power. Set up the Kraken board and put the Meeple on the lower left space. On the player board, place the cubes on 0 and the round tracker on 1. Place the ship on the start token. Create the Kraken deck with cards numbered 1 and 2, shuffle, put at the bottom of the Kraken board. Add the Kraken card to the bottom of the deck. Finally, shuffle the rest of the cards and deal 9 to each player. Alright, let's talk about the powers that each of us have chosen.
So my power is when we are trading cards, I get to look at what was given to me before I give my card to my partner.
Well, aren't you just special?
I am special.
And my special power is, every time we play 2 ship wheels, we get to move the ship forward. What do those powers mean? We'll get to that. Now that we've been dealt our cards, we have to swap 1 card with each other, but we can't look at them before we swap, except Abby's special.
I'm special.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a card that will hopefully help us use my power and get us to the end so we don't die in a fiery kraken death.
Hopefully.
So hopefully that card will do you some good, my dear. Okay, and then from this point on, we can't talk to each other. But it'd be a pretty dull video if we didn't, so we're going to talk through our process just so you get an idea how the game is played, plus it'll help us do our review. In Sail, the game's going to last 5 rounds. In each round, whoever wins the 4th trick will end the round, and then the Kraken's going to do nasty things to us, which is really, really bad. Okay? So, whoever the round marker is going to lead the trick. So since it's pointing towards me, I will play first. In this game, it's a must-follow trick taker, meaning you have to play on suit. There are 3 suits, blue, gray, and green. So to start, I'm going to play this 8 blue.
And I will follow with a 7.
Okay, so 8 is higher than 7, which means I win the trick. Then, we look at the symbols on the card, and it's going to tell us what we're going to do. In the case of double ship wheels, we're going to move the ship forward. So, with my character's special power, whenever we play double ship wheels, we get to move forward. However, we messed up! We can't travel through land, so actually, we would not go forward at all. Oops.
Whoops!
But for the purposes of this teach, we're going to act like it was just a normal movement, and I would move 1 space towards me. After we resolve the trick, both of our cards go into the discard pile. Then, since I won the trick, I would move my tracker up 1, and then I would lead the next one. So for my next one, I'm going to play a gray 8.
I'm going to follow with a 3 gray.
Alright, so I once again win the trick. We look at the symbols. In this case, we have a ship wheel, and then Abby has a ship wheel and a kraken tentacle. This is bad, because that means the kraken's going to damage our ship. So in this case, our ship is still going to move 1 space towards me. However, the kraken is going to damage us. So in resolving the trick, movement always happens first, so since I won the trick, the ship would move diagonally up 1 space towards me. I should also add, if we land on a kraken tentacle, we will also take damage. This is the kraken board. It tracks how much damage the kraken's going to do to us at the end of each round. However, if we take damage during a turn, we have to take a card from the kraken deck and add it to our discard pile, making it easier for the kraken to damage our ship. So in this case, we take the top card off of the kraken deck and add it into our discard pile. And then once again, with the trick resolved, our cards go into the discard pile, and I have won the 2nd trick of the round. Now, once again, I lead, and this time I'm going to lead with a blue 1.
And I will lead with a blue 3.
Okay, in this case, Abby has won the trick. So, the symbols are a double ship wheel and a double tentacle. This is even worse because the kraken's going to damage us twice. So since Abby won the trick, the ship is going to move diagonally 1 space towards her. Then we have to now take 2 cards off of the kraken deck to show that the kraken has now damaged us 2 more times, making it even easier for us to be destroyed. This is not looking great.
Nope.
Alright, Abby gets to lead the next trick.
So with that, I'm going to play a 3 green.
Okay, and then I'm going to play a 5 green. So now, to reconcile this, we have a cannon and a ship's wheel and a kraken tentacle. This means we get to fight back and damage the kraken. So in this case, the ship's wheel and the kraken card is going to go to the bottom of the kraken deck. However, attacking the kraken, we don't get to move the ship. So now, we will discard our card. I have won a trick, so now I get to lead. And then I'm going to play a 5 gray.
And I don't have any gray, so I'm going to play a 4 blue.
Alright, yeah, just remember this is a must-follow trick taker, but if you can't follow, just play whatever you want. In this case, we have double cannons, which is really great for us, which is we get to do a cannon action. The way that works is we're going to flip over the top card of the deck, and depending on the symbol, we get to do things. In this case, we have a ship's wheel. Whoever won the trick, the ship is going to move in that direction. In this case, it's going to move diagonally 1 space towards me. There's other cannon actions that are possible, which we'll talk about in a minute. In the meantime, we've already resolved this trick, so our cards go into the discard. I won the trick with the highest number. Normally, this would be the end of the round, but we have one more action to talk about. So, if we did have another trick remaining, I would lead, and I'm going to play a green 9.
I don't have any greens, so I'm going to play a blue 9.
Alright, which is the last possible action, the mermaids. With mermaids, the ship actually gets to move 1 space forward, which is really good because moving diagonally is kind of slow, but moving forward is fantastic. So at the end of the round, we take all the cards that are played and we put them into the discard pile. Then the Kraken has to do damage to us. So the damage tracker is currently at 3. So we take 3 cards off of the top of the Kraken deck. Except we've come to a special card, which is the Kraken card. Anytime the Kraken card would get added to our discard pile, the Kraken card goes to the bottom of the Kraken deck, and the damage goes higher.
Eep.
If at any time the damage gets to the Skull and Crossbones, we've lost the game. Then with the end of the round, we would take our discard pile, anything left in the deck, reshuffle, deal out 9 cards, and move into round 2. We would keep playing back and forth until we reach the end of the map, which is this anchor tile, or at the end of rounds 2 and 4, if we have not passed the cloud markers on the board, we lose the game. And that is Sail in a nutshell. Sail also comes with amazing player aids, which shows you the structure of a turn, it shows you what symbols are on each card, the action combinations, what to do during damage, and the different cannon actions. Which, as we said before, if we get a wheel, we get to move towards the winner of the trick. If it's a mermaid tail, we get to move 1 space forward. If it's a double wheel and double Kraken, we get to put one of those cards underneath the Kraken deck. And if it's a cannon, we do a cannon action.
So overall, I love Sail. I do not enjoy cooperative games, but I love trick takers. And this game really hits the feel of a trick taker without feeling overly cooperative.
Totally agreed. And as we said in the beginning, for 2 very uncooperative people, and for the simple fact that we can't talk to each other as we play, it really scratches that itch of an exciting game, but also, it's never Joe and Abby's best friend race when we play games. But in the sense of a cooperative game, just that little bit of tension gives it that excitement, and real easy to learn. The setup is fun. People of all ages could definitely enjoy this game.
And I really just love the pieces, the production, everything. I'm a sucker for a good game with some really good bits, and this really has some great bits.
Absolutely. All Play definitely hit this one out of the park. So, highly recommend you pick this one up if you enjoy cooperative games and enjoy trick takers.
Absolutely. Even if you enjoy one or the other, you might still enjoy both, especially if you are a primarily 2-player couple.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us. If you like what you saw, feel free to follow us on my Twitch channel at PhantomMeeple.
Or you can find all of our past Twitch broadcasts on YouTube.
Until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care, y'all.
Bye!
What is up, everybody? My name is Reggie, and you can find me at rolling.reggie all over the interwebs. Today, we are talking about Starla's favorite type of games, co-op. So cooperative games are not something I've really been drawn to before I got into the hobby. I was always a competitive video game guy, competitive trading card games, and now I've really started to see the value and really appreciate what's fun about co-op games. So I have 5 games here, my top 5 that really have opened my eyes to what co-op games can do. And so if you are just interested in co-op or think it's not for you, I really want to suggest these 5 games. So in no particular order, we're going to start with my absolute favorite, one of my all-time favorite games that really got me into cooperative, and that is represented on this shirt here, and that is Marvel Champions. So this is a deck construction living card game from Fantasy Flight Games, and Marvel Champions is the theme of Marvel with the complexity of like a Magic the Gathering, and you can play it up to 4-player co-op against the big bads throughout the Marvel universe. Why I really appreciate this game is that there is so much customization for your own decks, and every single time you play, you can try new villains, new combinations of heroes. You can play it solo, but you can play it also up to 4 players co-op going against a big bad, and the difficulty level scales with the number of players that you are playing with. For me, Marvel Champions is one of the most complex games in my collection, and definitely the most complex on this list. But what I really want to emphasize is that this game is the first game that really taught me that cooperative games could be difficult. When I had ever tried some, it just felt like it was never really a legitimate challenge, the same you would get against playing a card game against someone else. But the way that the villain works and how you actually get to manipulate it is very straightforward, but yet it still you can ramp up the difficulty so much. Or if you want to just try it out and just be breezy, test out your really cool heroes and just play as Doctor Strange and War Machine and Black Widow, you can do that and make the villain and your opponent really easy. And that is awesome. I love that you can tweak that, and I think that's what makes it such a great cooperative experience, and not let alone it's great solo as well. Number 2 on my list is on the opposite side of the spectrum, and that is Just One. I talk about this game all the time on my channel, and that is because it is legitimately the only game that I could teach to anyone. Coworkers, grandparents, neighbors, siblings, kids. It is so simple and straightforward. You have a little dry erase placard. It goes up to 7 players. One person will not get to look at whatever word is selected, and everyone needs to write just one word to get them to guess that correct word. So we're all working together to get one person to guess a word, but the twist of the game is if you match your clue with anyone else, you both have to erase it, and you could be left with a very small amount of clues to guess the just one word. I played this game on my wedding day. I have brought this in my bag to numerous events. I think Just One is the perfect entry weight cooperative experience for anyone who just wants to have a nice, happy family experience that's cooperative and also a word game. It's so dead simple that I cannot recommend Just One enough. Number 3 on my list is another word game, and this is Codenames Duet. So this is this regular Codenames formula, but put into a cooperative setting and meant for 2 players, although you can play it with more and more players. They've got nice rules there. So the basic Codenames formula is, hey, here's a grid of 25 cards. You've got to get your teammates to guess the right clues without guessing the wrong clues. So in Codenames Duet, you're doing the same. You're all trying to get all the words, but they have these 2-sided cards, which are just ingenious because there's like dozens of them, I think 50 or more in the box. And so every time you play, you have so much replayability, but there's that challenge of as you progress, if you want to play through the campaign, you can have less clues that you can give, or you can have less mistakes that you can allow every single time. It's really nice. Again, another game that ramps up with the difficulty that you would like to play it at. But if you really enjoy that Codenames formula, like I mentioned a few times, this is a great way to, instead of being head-to-head with 4-on-4 people, you can just play one-on-one, nice weeknight game with your partner or friend or sibling or whatever, and I've really appreciated it. I do think it's the best version of Codenames, and that's Codenames Duet. Number 4 is another OFPG favorite because it is one of the only games that's gotten Starla to play co-op. I almost name-dropped the game here, and that is Decorum. Now, Decorum is, I love their tagline so much, it is the passive-aggressive game about cohabitation. What is happening is that you have a little house that has all these different, there's curios and wallpapers and paint colors and lamps that are in the house of different colors, and your little card that you have wants the house to have certain alignment of those items in the house, the decor of the house. and everyone has their own private objective that they're trying to go for. And we can't just say, I want 3 lamps in the house. You have to make a move, and then everyone else goes around the table and says whether they like that move or they hate that move, or they're just neutral about it. Like, I don't really care about what you put in the house. I don't really care about that little lamp that you put in there. And it just makes for this tension where you're like, why in the world are you messing my plan up every single time? But all they're trying to do is accomplish their own goal. So for people who want to work together, and then the people who are like, I want to be able to have my own thing, this is like the best of both worlds. So Decorum is a hit game. It's kind of semi-cooperative in that way. Beautiful production. I've only played this a handful of times, and I just want to get through. There's about 30 different scenarios. I really want to get back and dive into Decorum, and talking about it today has made me want to pull it out. Finally, I want to talk about the newest game to my collection, and this is Horrified American Monsters. Horrified is a nice 1 to 5 player cooperative game. There are 3 versions out now. The original is about the universal monsters, are the characters that you are fending off. It's Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature of the Black Lagoon, those type of creatures. The most recent one that's come out is called Greek Monsters, and it's got all of the creatures like the Minotaur and Medusa from the Greek pantheon. And then the one that I have, American Monsters, has North American folklore creatures. So Sasquatch and Chupacabra and the Ozark Howler. And I really appreciate that theme the most, although the gameplay is fairly similar, as far as I'm told, across all 3 games. But on your turn, you have a number of actions, and you get to move around, grab items, and try to protect the civilians. But what makes the game special to me personally is that each villain or each creature that's on the board acts in a different way and has to be defeated in a different way. Bigfoot has one of those slider puzzles where you're trying to capture a picture of Bigfoot. We played against Chupacabra, and you're supposed to save 5 goats, and they could be placed anywhere across town. And so you're working together. You guys have to kind of take, you have to decide, like, I've got to go take care of this crisis right now, and you try to get rid of Bigfoot, etc. So it makes for a game where everybody can kind of focus on their own things, but you have to prioritize together and save the civilians that come out. I have had a great time with Horrified every time I've played, and I'm so excited to sink my teeth more into this awesome game. Okay, so there's my top 5. Go out and be a good human and play some co-op games together.
What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
From BlackBoard Gaming.
Today, we're going to talk about the cooperative game, The A.R.T Project.
The A.R.T Project is designed by Florian Siriex and Benoit Turpin and published by TheBakerMeeple Games.
Let's go to the table for an overview of how this game is played.
The A.R.T Project is a cooperative dice rolling game for 1 to 6 players, where the players are trying to recover stolen art pieces from the villainous White Hand. The game comes with 6 different mission maps. In this teach, we're going to use the mission map for Japan, which we're going to place in the middle of the play area in reach of all players. Each player is going to choose a player color, and they're going to receive their matching player pawn, their character card, their die, and they're going to get 3 health tokens, which they're going to place on their card. Then they're going to create a shared supply of resources and place them in their designated spot on this van board. We got our gasoline tokens, our gun tokens, and our walkie-talkie tokens. The players are going to place their player pawns on the starting city on the map where the red flag is, and then we're going to place 2 agent pawns in each of these cities out on the map. All other resources are going to be placed nearby the play area, and that's going to be known as the stock. And then we're going to shuffle up this deck of mission cards. And once that's shuffled, we place it face down. We're going to remove the bottom 12 cards, and we're going to place this end tile underneath the deck, and then return those 12 mission cards to the bottom of the deck. Now we can start the game. Each round starts with a mission phase, where each player is going to draw 2 mission cards into their hand. And they're going to take a look at them and have an open discussion, because they're going to be able to play one of those cards, doing what the card says, and place the other one in a shared discard pile. So you're going to have an open discussion with the other players trying to strategize in which order the cards are going to be played. And you can tell people what you can do, the other players, but you can't show them the card. So if this player decided to play this card, then he will have to spend this resource, which is a gas can, from the shared supply, returning it to the stock. And then we'll have to place one of these agent pawns into that particular city out on the map. But then he would gain a gun and some more health. And he could place that health on his character card or another player's character card. Now, when spending resources from the shared supply, if they don't have that resource, they could lose a health token off of their player card. Now, you have to be aware that there are only 6 of these different resources: 6 gas cans, 6 guns, and 6 walkie-talkies. So you have to pay attention to that. Now, once each player has played their card and does what the card says, then we would gather clues. Let's say these were the 2 cards that were played. Now, if you look down here, these are clues that represent cities out on the player map. After resolving these cards will be placed face down like so to start a clue track. Now, let's say in the next round, these cards were added. So whenever you see 3 identical of one of the symbols, you have located one of these art pieces out on the game board in that location. So we will first discard these cards, placing them in the discard pile. And this art piece will get placed in that matching location out on the game board. Now that the mission phase is over, we will go into the movement phase, where each player can spend one of these gasoline tokens from the shared supply to move their player pawn to an adjacent city. So this yellow player decides they're going to do that, and they're going to move over to this city because they want to try to get that art piece. The red player decides that they're going to stay. They could spend another gasoline token to go to the same space as the yellow player, but they're going to stay here because there are a lot of these white hand tokens in this city. And at the end of a round, if there are 5 or more white hand tokens in a particular city, we remove those tokens and we will place one of these lost city tokens out onto that board, which will make that city impassable for the players. They can't travel in there and they can't move through there. Also, if ever we play a mission card that will add another white hand token to that lost city, instead of it going there, it will go up to this white hand spot, which will add to the strength of the white hand, which I will get into in a little bit. So at the end of a movement phase, if a player's pawn shares a city with an art piece and there are no white hand tokens there, then they will immediately gain this art piece and place it at the left spot of this track, which is how we win the game. We're trying to fill that track up with these art pieces. Of course, the white hand was in that city. So we would end the movement phase and then we would go into the fight phase, where each player can choose whether or not they're going to fight the white hand. Now, the white hand's power is measured by the leftmost visible space. So right now it's 6 plus the number of white hand in that city. So their power is 8 here and they're 9 here. So let's say the yellow player decides that they're going to take on the white hand. So they're going to roll their player die and they get a 3. Now, they could spend one of the cards from the clue deck, the clue track, to re-roll that dice. So let's say they decide to do that, they get a 6. Now, the power is 8. So remember, we got these gun tokens in the shared supply. And both these add +2 to the value, to the result. So if it's equal or more than the power of the white hand get removed from the board, returned to the stock, and this player immediately grabs this crate. Now remember, their value is 9, now was 9, but now it has went up to 8 plus 3 or 11. So the red player decides they're not going to fight. Now, also, if a player ever chooses to fight and they lose the fight, they would lose one of their heart tokens. Another thing that anytime in the game, if the players have enough walkie-talkies, they can spin walkie-talkies. As you can see up there now, the cost of the walkie-talkies was 6, now it's 5. If we had 5 walkie-talkies, we could call in an ally, which is represented by these dice. And so now, in a future round, the red player decides to fight here, he's rolling both of these dice for the result. There are 4 ways to lose at this game. If a player loses all of their heart tokens, we have lost. If this end tile comes up and at the end of that round, we have not collected all of the art pieces, we lost the game. If we run out of agent pawns or these lost city tokens to place out onto the board, we've lost. But if we are able to fill this track up, these spaces up with these art pieces, then we have won this game. I picked this game up at PAX Unplugged last year. And my thoughts about this game are going to be short and sweet. I really love the thematic setting of this game. I really love the Vincent Dutrait art. I really love those components.
I didn't know what to expect from this game.
Because this ain't her type of game.
But I have to echo Dwayne's sentiments. I love the art. I love the gameplay. And those components really add to the theme. And if you've watched us enough, you know I thrive on theme.
Yeah, I love the way you use the gasoline cans for movement. You use the guns for fighting. You use the walkie-talkies for calling backup in. And I love the fact that you store those on their little Scooby-Doo van. You know?
And I even like the little crates that represent shipping boxes, because you know that's how goods are shipped. Just this game is so thematic and so enjoyable.
Yeah, and I love the way the challenge ramps up as we recover those art pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, this was one of my top games. I mean, this was one of my favorite games of 2023. And I'm so glad that Alicia was able to experience this game with me. And I'm glad you liked it.
Love it.
Yeah, so there you have it. See you guys later.
All right, another wonderful episode.
They dropped the mic again, all of them.
Yes.
Yes.
And even though the topic was co-op games,
yes.
it was very enlightening.
It was like enlightening?
It was enlightening.
Really? It was enlightening?
Yeah, I mean,
that
they
is
talked
so
about
good.
some great games. Some
Yes,
of
they
my
did.
favorites.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you know, Joe and
Yes.
Abby kicked everything off with Sail.
Yes, and I want to try Sail
We
so
haven't played
bad.
it yet, yeah.
Are you going to play Sail? It's co-op. And it's a cool co-op trick-taking game, just like they showed,
I know.
I really want to play. And we do have it, family. But who is the barrier? The barrier? Right here.
I mean, they did make it look like fun.
Did
so,
they? Did they really?
Yeah, they
Okay,
did.
okay,
Joe
good.
and Abby did a good job.
Thank you, Joe and Abby. Thank
we'll
you
see.
so much.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Just we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, that's cool. I can take that, family. I can take that.
And then Roland Reggie came through with a
Yes,
top 5.
Reggie.
You know, he talked about one of your favorite games.
Marvel Champion.
Yeah.
Now he is falling head over heels for Marvel Champion, and I love that because I think him and Maurice, cousin Maurice,
Yes.
also another OFPG Voices contributor, they were playing that at OrcaCon.
Oh, yeah, they
I
were.
think so. I think they were going to play that, and I want to join them, but they were doing their thing, so they played that. But Codenames Duet, you like that one?
It's not co-op.
What?
That is not a co-op game. I don't know why Reggie put that on his list.
It is co-op.
not.
It's duet.
It is not. It is one of my favorite
You are
games.
together, and we do have it, and you played
love it.
You're together fighting, the game. That's a co-op.
It's not. It's a team game.
You're together.
You're a team.
She went team,
So-
y'all. She went team.
I don't know why that made his list
Yes.
as a co-op game, but it is a fun game.
Yes.
I love Codenames Duet.
Yes.
Not co-op.
It's a team.
But it's a team.
Oh
you're
my
a
God!
team.
Lord, help us! Now, just one. Did you have you played?
I played
you played
Just One.
Now that's co-op. It's team
Kinda,
again.
Sorta. It's a team game, kinda.
It's not team. It's you're helping. Everybody's helping each other out. That's co-op.
Okay.
Yes.
Tomato, tomato.
Okay, here we go. But Just One is a great game. That is
It
a
is
great
fun.
party game.
It is a lot of fun.
It's a great party game. Yes, it is.
And you do work together.
Yes, you do. Now, the last one, Horrified American Monsters, and
We haven't played that.
I haven't played American because
Yeah.
it's co-op, and you don't want to play that. None of the Horrified. They've had like about 3 of them, and we don't. They're not in our collection, family.
Oh, well.
Right here, right here.
Now,
That's
the
it.
last one on his list.
Now, the last one.
is
Here we go.
one of my favorites.
Here we go to discussion right here,
And
y'all.
it is a semi-cooperative game, and I love it, and that's Decorum.
It's co-op.
No, it's not.
And it's just passive aggressive that you like, because it kind of takes it out of the kind of close, co-op world into kind of like competitive, kind of sorta. So that's what you like about
it's
it.
every man for himself.
Yes.
Because you are trying to fix your room.
But you still got to work together.
But then you got to work with these other players.
Why'd that
You
go silent? Why'd
you
that go
gotta
so low?
Work with them, and they mess stuff up because you got your room perfect, and then here they go trying to tell you need to change something. So that's the only drawback.
That's the
but
cool
the
part
game is
of the
fun.
game. That's the cool part
That's
of the
the
game,
drawback.
though. That's the but that's the cool part of the game. Everybody trying to get their room together while still trying to put the puzzle together. I love that about that game.
Love Decorum.
Love it. Love
Love
Decorum.
Decorum.
Yes. Now, the last one, here we go again. Now, family, I'm going to tell you, Decorum, she likes a lot.
Love.
She loves, love. And here's the other one she loves. So that's two games that she loves.
Well, the last one is from BlackBoard Gaming.
Yes.
They did the art project.
Yes.
And we did a playthrough of the art
Yes,
project.
we did. And we won.
And it's a semi-cooperative game. It is.
Okay.
Fun game.
It is a co-op.
Love the game.
Straight co-op.
It's No,
It's straight.
It's semi-cooperative.
Here we go.
Because I have my own cards I have to work on trying to get my people around, and then your opponent has some cards, and then you kind of work with them in the end.
Kinda.
But
Kinda. You got to work together to stop the white hand gang.
well, anyway, the art project is awesome.
It is. It is
I
a
love
great
it.
game.
And no, I'm not going soft on co-op games.
She is not going soft,
They are
family.
Semi-cooperative games that I love.
Family, y'all got to help me on that semi-co-op thing. That semi, I tell you. But, the art project is so
It is.
much fun. It's challenging.
It is.
Because up until that playthrough, we lost every game. And then at the playthrough, you can see it on the playthrough that we were so excited because we won
Yeah.
right then and there in front of everybody. So that was a lot of fun. That was
But
a lot
Dwayne
of
and
fun.
Alicia did a great
They
job
did a great
teaching
job.
it.
Yes, they
So I
did.
hope if you haven't played the art project,
Yes.
you'll give it a shot. And check out all of the games that were listed.
Yes.
Because out of all the games that were listed,
Here we
they
go.
are fun games.
Yes, they are.
But I really appreciate them including semi-cooperative games on their list.
See, family, there we go. There we go. That's what I live with, family.
And we
That's
also
what I
wanna
live
say
with.
Thank you to our awesome sponsor,
Yes.
Board and Dice, and our contributors. We love you guys so much.
And NavyMontel, who did a great
Yes.
job again.
NavyMontel's his second
Oh,
time
my
as a
Lord.
guest contributor.
Yes.
And he knocked it out of the park
Yes, he
again.
did. Yes.
Home run. Because
Yes.
we belong.
We belong.
We belong
Yes.
in this space, the board gaming space, in the cosplay space. If you like comic books and stuff, we belong in that space. We belong wherever we want to be.
Yes.
And when we get into those spaces, we need to build community
Yes.
and make that a safe space
and
for us.
spread out. And don't get mad if somebody likes cosplay and board games.
Yes.
Don't get mad about that.
Yeah.
Don't get mad if you like comic books and you like RPGs. Let everybody like everything.
Yes. Find
know?
a space where you're happy,
Yes.
and wherever that space is, we belong.
And then bounce to each one. Just go everywhere, because I bounce to everywhere. I just bounce everywhere. I haven't done cosplay yet, but I just love watching it. I love watching cosplay.
Yeah.
I do love that. But we do belong.
We belong.
And like Montel said, we need to be ambassadors. I
Yes.
think we're trying to be
We
the
are.
best ambassadors as
the
we
board
can
game
be.
hobby, yes.
We're trying, but I think all of us can be ambassadors.
I
We definitely
totally
can.
agree.
Yes,
So
we can all
thank you
be ambassadors.
again, Navy,
Yes.
Montel,
Yes.
for being part of our show.
Now, family, please subscribe.
Yes.
Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Like us, share us, do whatever you can. But get us out there. But first, What about that merch, Starla? What about the merch?
If you're looking for Our Family Plays Games shirt,
Yes.
our cup, or
Yes.
a mug, or an
Yeah.
OFPG
Yeah.
Voices shirt,
Yeah.
you can check us out on Spring. And then we also have an exclusive shirt for Our Family Plays Games
Yes.
on BGG at the BGG store online. Please check it out. Get a shirt for your family and friends.
Yes, do that. Now, our next episode is April 24th, and it's Party Games! Party, party, party! Now, we are starting to get more into party
We
games
are,
lately
yes, yes.
in the last kind of couple of years
Yes.
because we're going into a lot of places that are a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, you just can't have a game with just 5, go up to 5. You need 8, 10, 12, 100. You need all those. So definitely party games. I'm excited to see what we do and what our contributors bring for that one on April 24th. I'm excited. Now, last thing, where can they find OFPG and OFPG Voices family and Starla? Where can we find ourselves? Yes.
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games,
Yes.
or OFPG Voices,
Yes.
you can find us on Facebook, Instagram,
Yep.
Twitter,
Yep.
right here on YouTube,
Right here.
on our website,
Website.
and TikTok.
TikTok. Thank you so much, family, for coming out and checking out all these beautiful voices. Support our sponsor now. Support them because they're doing some great things and support them now so that we can keep going. But also, if you got any questions or comments, please put it down below. But there's one thing, family, one thing we want you to always know. We love you.
Bye, everybody.
now.